purpose of this call. So the purpose of this call is threefold. It's to lay out clear expectations for every single Crunch class we teach. This is a big one. And the second thing is to let us know where we stand as a department and company. I'm going to give you a little update on that. And then ultimately to unite us as a team. It's so rare that we actually get to hang out and talk and I know this isn't quite a conversation, but I'm fairly certain many of you don't know who I am or have seen my name somewhere, but at least here by hearing my voice and hearing how I speak and as someone who is really passionate about uniting our team, I'm hoping that this will lay the groundwork for us to connect even more. So let me flesh out this a little bit more on the expectations for every class. We have partnered with a group that does secret shopping. So what that means is they send somebody in to check out your business and they give you feedback on it. We created a really simple, straightforward questionnaire to analyze the experience that these secret shoppers are having when they take a Crunch class. This isn't the first time Crunch has done this. We've done it with the sales team for years. And when our CEO and our Vice President of Operations, Lynn Cunningham, let me know that they do this, I was like, wow, that would be really cool for group fitness. Because for me personally, looking at things on a national level, I have a hard time getting to all the studios, obviously, because I can't be in California all the time or Miami. So we employed this system started a couple months ago, and the way it works is there will be once a month, a shopper will come and from the beginning to end will evaluate and answer questions on their experience. So how they reserved their spot in the class through the app, through the locker rooms, through the check-in at the front desk, to the actual class itself. And we're doing okay. This is the thing. It's solid 99% of the time, though. The good news is the shopper says, I would totally come back to this class, but there's so much room for improvement, which leads us to our second thing, purpose of this call. The past 3 years, what we've seen in the data that the data heads here at the corporate office have is they've seen a decline in our attendance. And it's nothing alarming, it's nothing crazy, and it's all going to be explained that while we have steady growth with membership, there's also a fair amount of competition out there, which I know it's in California, There's literally sometimes you can walk down the street and run into 5 other options besides the Crunch Club that you work at of where people can take classes. Our goal is to win it back because I know that we are an amazing team of instructors that share such passion and joy and funky and cool classes and interesting playlists and innovative exercises and choreography. We're constantly sort of pushing the envelope here, and I want us to take a couple of key steps that I think will make us more on top of our game and bring a little bit more consistency and fun for our members that just set a tone every single time that is fun and good. So I'm going to go to the next slide or page here, which says our expectations. So this is what I'm after for all of us to do in every single Crunch class we do. I want you to open your class the same way each time by addressing the 3 N's. The 3 N's are your name, the newbies, and the needs. So those are the 3 things: names, newbies, needs. So you're going to always share my name is and the name of the class. And the reason why that's so important, it's such a subtle little first impression thing, but it's really saying when you can take the time to make eye contact with the class, and don't do what I've done sometimes. I'm rushing in and I'm trying to hook up my music, remember my choreography, and make sure the mic is working and all that good stuff. And I'm saying, hi everyone, my name is Mark, and I'm not quite, this call from even me has helped me just take a moment to stop and look at the folks who have taken the time to join me on this journey of a fun workout and say, this is my name, this is what we're doing. And right away, inherently, you are saying, I am glad you're here. And that should trigger the next thing. Is there anybody who's new to my class, new to Crunch? And even if there's not, just by asking that again also sets the tone that says we welcome you. There are no judgments here. Where if you're brand new, I am just happy to have you, right? And then the last thing you want to make sure that you do is you want to address the needs of the people who are there. So if there's something, if you find your way of asking if people need any modifications of things, you don't have to make it a huge thing. This whole opening should literally take 90 seconds to 2 minutes. But if you can create the space, if you have the luxury of it, to say, we have a minute before class starts, come talk to me if you have any injuries, that kind of thing. Or for me, I just say, if you've got something funky going on with your body, trust your body, listen to your body, do what's right for you. If you need help figuring out something else to do, flag me over and I'll help you out. That's my way, but depending on what you're teaching, find a creative way to do that. So it's openings, names, newbies, needs, 3 N's. Easy thing to remember. Right now for the secret shoppers, we're scoring 71%, meaning we got 71% got perfect scores. And you get a perfect score if you do these 3 things, right? So for me, there isn't really any reason why we shouldn't be able to get to 100% here. So that's our goal. Closing. Want you to end your class every time with these 3 things. I tend to give things in 3. So the closings here are, you want to give thanks for coming, congratulate them in some way for doing an awesome job in class, and then here's the key one. This is the one where we're losing points. You want to tell them where they can find you at Crunch next. And that is so key. You want to cross promote, even if it's at a different location, right? Just throw it out there. If they've never even heard of a location because it's completely far away, like Sunset and Burbank rarely sort of cross over, right? Because it's not exactly that convenient, but it's fine to say, I'm at Burbank next Thursday, this coming Thursday, or see you next week here at Sunset, right? It's okay to do those kinds of things. What that's doing is, opening their eyes to where you are, and hopefully just creating that, again, sense of connection, which is what we're after. So closing, 3 things: thanks, congrats, and where they can catch you next at Crunch. The last one of the expectations for every class, this one's the weird one because it's not easy to just give a point for. What it is it's called the wow connection. And I'm not going to read what's on the paper. You can read it, when you have time, or if you have it in front of you. And the wow connection, simply translated, is this. It is the moment in class, or moments in class, when the members felt connected to each other or to you. And the way you can test it is, you should feel it. You would feel, even if it was members that were connecting and they were high-fiving each other for something that they just accomplished in class, that moment, that's pure connection, it's tangible energy. Energy feeds energy. And when you feel that love of being in the room, it's everything. It is a wow moment. And it sometimes can be small. I gave this example earlier, and because it doesn't have to be, when I say wow moment, it doesn't literally have to be like an aha Oprah moment, or drop to your knees, Jesus, praise God, I just found something amazing. It can be so simple as there's this ride class I took yesterday. The instructor put on a remix of a Bon Jovi song, and all she said was, for those of you who don't know, I'm a Jersey girl at heart. And there were smiles instantly from everyone in the room, including the people who didn't know her, because they could recognize the popular John Bon Jovi song, and there was a connection to her and the type of person she is. It's unique for her to say, I'm a Jersey girl at heart. Right, and then she literally then added, and I really am from Jersey. So that little nugget of information where we got to know her was precious and beautiful. The reason why I've been talking about this so much is, and found the dialogue for it, is our CEO Keith, who I hope you, if you've never met him, I hope you have a chance to meet him. Such a great guy, great leader, excellent speaker, and inspires me on so many levels. He took a class once, and he shared that the playlist was great and the workout was tough. He got his workout in, but he wouldn't go back because the instructor was literally just feeding the exercises to the class. There wasn't an extra level of something personable. And if you're a fan of anything live, whether it's concerts, sporting events, or even just going to the movies or a Broadway show, I shared this example earlier with the onboarding that was happening here at corporate office, that there's this moment sometimes when I'm in a movie theater and we all, you can feel the people crying at the same moment, or laughing at the same moment, or scared or gasped at a horror film moment. And that little thing where everybody feels it together, that's the energy I'm talking about, that we have to foster and nurture and take advantage of. It's the live factor that is so powerful that I want us to just tap into. And that's where we're falling short. We're getting, in the comments when the secret shopper, they write what their experience was and what was the connection that they felt. And we're only averaging a score of 57% here. Only 57% of the ones we've had so far are able to say, yeah, I felt really connected to the teacher or to the members. And that's where we can do so much better because we're naturally heart-minded people is what I'd say. As much as we might be smart and we might have the right mindset, I know if you teach at Crunch, you have the right heart set. And that heart is sharing the passion and love of fitness, which we have to get that out. So make sure you're finding the creative ways to do that. It's a good segue to our next slide, which is powerful teachers. This slide, again, you can read it, and I'll translate it for you. This slide is basically saying, we are in the most powerful position than anybody else in the company. I'm here at the corporate office. I can see our marketing team. I can see some of our account and payroll people, and there's a personal trainer somewhere back there. And even if they were in the club and in their job position at Crunch, they are not in the position where they have a room full of people who want to be there to play with us. And I use the word play very particularly, right? They're there to, even though it's a workout, they're there to find that joy of moving the body in fun, interesting ways. We instantly have the power to influence them and make them feel loyal and connected to our company more than anybody else. A personal trainer might get that. They might have a lifelong client, but it's one-on-one. Here, every time we step into a room, and especially if it's a packed room, my God, if you're like at Newmont and you have that room full, or if you have Daly City, which is like huge, and you have 85 people in there, that is a powerful instructor who has the ability to convey pure joy and love. And that's what I'm hoping you will all think about and remember when you step into those rooms. The last slide, I'm going to get you guys out of here because I know you got things to do. And 2017 is the year. And this slide says there's 3 things on here. We're trying to hit a goal of 75% nationally each month for class capacity attendance. And what that means is that as a whole, the schedule, so I'll use an example, let's say at Sunset or at Union Street, in the month of June, per se, it would be considered an amazing month if all the classes were at 75% capacity on average. So the tip for you that I have is, number 1, know what your capacity is, right? So it's sometimes very clear. If you teach a ride class, it's the amount of bikes that's set. It varies in the group fitness room depending on the experience. So for example, they had chosen, I took a class with Michelle Opperman one time, and we were taking I think it was the acceleration class at the time, which runs all over the place. And they had used a capacity of a typical sort of diesel chisel class. But we found that because the way that room is set up and the way that you have to move in that class, we needed to change the number and reduce it. We're not trying to reduce the class capacity just to get higher in our ratings. What we're actually just trying to do is get more people to come into the gym and take our classes. That's really the goal. Your group fitness managers have a goal of improving at 1% each month for the next couple months. What can we do? But here's my second tip for you. You are empowered to have ideas and share them and push for them, right? So if literally you're like, hey, I have a Pilates class, my attendance is only at 50%, I know I can get it higher if this happened, right? Whatever, you fill in the blank for the this. Is it, if you got me some Pilates rings, I know it. I know I can get it to 60%, right? You know, obviously the more innovative ideas that don't cost money, like if you were literally to say, hey, if you could get me a live band and DJ every week, I know I could get more people. That one might be a little bit more out of the budget, right? So try to come up with as many ideas as you can and know that you have the power to shape what you're teaching all year long. Talk to your group fitness managers. They want to hear your ideas. They want to know what you want to do because you know the members best because you're there with them regularly and you know it will keep them coming. Last 2 things here that I really hope for each of us to accomplish is that we find a way to be mentored by someone, learn from them. Mentor is such a strong word sometimes, but just to even build a relationship with another instructor and to in turn mentor somewhere else or, you know, reach out and share knowledge that you might have being at Crunch or as an instructor. Because we've been here for 28 years. Crunch has been around 28 years. I've been teaching at Crunch for 19 years, and I recently found that I've been inspired by when I take some of the classes and learn from some of the new hires that have been here less than 1 year. I share my feedback with them too, and I want to state for the record, just on this big national open call, to say sharing feedback with each other and ideas with each other as instructors, that's what I want to advocate and encourage you to do. It's a good thing to do. Obviously, do it with love. Sometimes someone has to run off and teach another class. Don't try to hunt them down and say, no, I got to tell you, Mark said, it's not that. It's more find the opportunity to just actually build a relationship with someone. So before you even give me feedback, do you actually have a rapport with this person that you've maybe seen for on a regular basis, or said, hey, let's swap playlists sometimes, or communicate even on social media. Find ways to do that. Take selfies together. All those things add the connection, which goes back to my very last thing that I want to leave you with. This is the year that I want you to have the most fun that you've ever had at Crunch. Bottom line, period. If you're not having a good time, find a way to do it. Talk to your group biz manager. Email me in Brooklyn. We're actually quite fun in different ways, from karaoke to working out and dancing. And we will help you come up with ideas if you're not having a good time. If there's something you're frustrated with and you're not being heard on, which we've got a couple of emails. There was one instructor who's like, I don't know how to get a class. Like, I can't answer NetGym fast enough. So, we're working on that. So all that kind of stuff, talk to your team members, talk to your group fitness managers. They're such a great resource. And if you need more ideas, Brooklyn and I are here for you. With that, I want to say thank you so much for joining this call, and I hope to see and party with you guys soon. Thanks, everyone.